With today's win, Stony Brook clinched its second consecutive CAA regular season championship. Coach will begin with an opening statement.
Yeah, I love the way we played today. I thought we had great purpose. I think we came out of the locker room the right way. Probably one of the better games that we've played complementary lacrosse as far as draw controls defensively and offensively. Coming out with the 6-1 first quarter, 10-2 at half, holding them to only 4 shots in the first half. But offensively for us, I think we were at 24, 25 shots in the first half. So really good signs for us as we're coming into a part of the year that we're really good at playing at. We felt early on this was a big game, for them, and I think our players are used to being in a lot of these spots. So we saw the importance of us being able to jump out early on them. They have obviously a really talented offensive group, and I think our defense put our best foot forward today against a group they've scored a lot of goals in conference play. So fired up for our players. To be CAA regular champs, they'd something where I don't want to say we take it for granted, but our players, it's so ho hum in their approach. So excited for them to be able to get that first, to be regular season champs. But obviously our sights are set a lot larger as we head into the end of April here.
Thanks, Coach. We'll open up for questions.
You talk a lot before the season how your goals go beyond the CAA, but can you just talk about winning the regular season title, what it means this year's conference, a little bit different than last year's?
I think, like I said earlier, I just think it's just a focus that we have and just worrying about us. I don't want to say we play a faceless opponent. I do think today's game meant a little bit more just with the local teams and and us having familiarity with Hofstra and Hofstra having familiarity with us players and crossover, and obviously knowing both schools are competitive against each other in other in a lot of sports. So for us, I think we came out with I usually can get a good vibe. I felt our locker room vibe was really good coming out, and to see winning the CAA the way players have the last couple of years is it's not easy to do, and they've done a good job with it. But we still have 2 more CAA games hopefully. We don't get to 2 without 1, so we have to worry about 1 at a time next Thursday, I believe. So us clinching the 1 seed is nice. We're obviously being home is good. We also get the earlier of the semifinals, which is good. Gives you a little bit more recovery time. So we're excited for our players. It's good. I thought our big dogs came out. I think we had, between Hart and Ellie and Finn, I think they had 14 of our goals. Hofstra came out in a zone. They were in a really tight zone. I thought we did a good job getting after it early. They switched to a man, and we were equally as successful. So a lot of good signs for us.
I know you mentioned playing like a faceless opponent, but Hofstra's a much different team from last year. Last year they won 1 conference game. This year they were undefeated coming to this game. So what are some things that you saw from them coming to this game where you thought they could propose a danger, and how do you think your team handled those?
Yeah, I think Hofstra's success in the conference was probably a good thing for us because I think they had our attention. I think it's always you try to create, whether we're playing other teams in our conference, you got to try to create an angle where you get your players' attention. We didn't really need an angle this week. We felt like they're undefeated in conference. Were they 6-0 or 6-0 in the CAA coming into this game? So we don't really have to say a lot that way. Obviously, we know them and respect them. They do a great job there, and they were excited to play us. This was a big game for them, and our players have been in a lot of those big games, and I thought we handled that really well. But there wasn't a lot to say. When a team's 6-0 and you're the same and you're playing we don't like to share. So we didn't want to share the conference title. That's not something we did. So we wanted to be to take the and not give any kind of situation where I think that's what I think the last week and this week is playing our best lacrosse, so that if we play one of these teams again down the road, that their preparation has to be really intense to prepare for us on short rest.
And like you mentioned, you have 1 more game before regular season finale against another
Well, it's a huge game. They played us really well last year. It was actually one of our better wins, probably. I think we were down really big early, and we came all the way back and showed a lot of heart and resolve. And it's a great game for the RPI. I think our RPI is top 10 Stanford, so we need the win for our RPI. Our RPI's dropped we're on a big winning streak right now, but our RPI's dropped actually due to playing some different conference games, so which hasn't been helpful to us. So this is a strategically placed in our bye week. If we have the bye in conference, that we were able to get somebody to tune us up for playoffs, and just to work that Stanford had a similar bye week in their conference. So I think they played yesterday, and they're actually flying right back out after our game because they have another conference game the next 2 days later. So it's a big game for RPI. It's a big game. Polls don't really mean anything. It's as far as like the national tournament, because it's all done through RPI and whatever formula the committee decides to use year in and year out. But ultimately, it's a game that has, it's good tune-up for the tournament, but it's also a game that will mean a lot into where we're seated.
And my last question, can you share anything about Claire's condition?
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about Claire Levy. Claire Levy worked out hard this morning. I think if this was a different, maybe a do-or-die game, I think you would have seen 42 in the lineup. So she's good. She's running. She's back. We're anticipating her being back in the lineup on Thursday, which is exciting for us. Claire is one of the best players in the country, let alone on our team. So for us to, she's been getting after her rehab, and her ankles are tricky. So it was one of those things, but she's really got after it and worked hard to get back. So I think if we wanted to force her in today, we could have. But I think we did the right thing by resting her another game, and I think it's given us a good opportunity for some other players to step up. So our depth is checked. Ellie Masera has been awesome, and Alex Fusco has been awesome, and in those guys filling that void by such a great player and a captain and a leader and all those things. So, but Claire she'll be back. She'll practice this week. We'll make an educated decision exactly what we're going to do Thursday, but for us, we have a big break. We have another week after that game, so I would like to get her buzzing a little bit on Thursday. And I know if I don't, she's going to probably be upset with me, and I don't like when 42 is upset with me.
Can I go to Alex? So early on, you started the game turnover, but then those 2 goals were, you could say, all you, right? The first goal from DX and the pass. What were you seeing early on that allowed you to be successful against Hofstra?
I just think a lot of teams have noticed that I'm a big feeder, so a lot of these games, the defenders up top are turning their backs to me. They don't honor me as a Dodger, so I took that opportunity and dodged the net. And I think the girls up top are really the ones that are opening up because they're occupying those defenders and keeping their backs turned. So that's what opens it up for me.
She's she's a very good Dodger, and she just hasn't shown it a lot. I think today, that was probably, she had the defender falling over the net there on that first play, and that's tough to come back from, because I think then you play the player off the player, and now you're giving her a hand. So she's done a really, really good job of working extra hard at her dodging and not just being a back foot feeder, because she's an elite feeder, and obviously the dodging now is really starting to catch up to the feeding aspect. So it's dodging to feed, not fading to feed. So I think you saw, what happens when a player works on that, and how effective she was. That first play, you set the tone. They're playing her, and she's got the player falling all over the place. So that's a tribute to how hard she's been working.
And for Ellie, you stuffed the stat sheet this whole season, but especially these past couple games. Can you just talk about what's been going so right for you, especially as you approach the postseason?
I think when I'm being overplayed on the right side, it opens a lot up for Hart. So then they overplay my side, and it opens it up for Hart. So then the next game, they're going to overplay Hart because Hart had however many points the last game. So I think it's just a back and forth, and they're either going to overplay Hart or they're going to overplay me, and it's whoever's at the end of the rainbow. I knew Hart had a great day today. Finney had a great day today, but it's more like the balance. So if they're focused on me, it's going to open it up for Hart and vice versa.
And one last one for the players. Can you guys share your perspective of winning the regular season title?
It's so special. I think, like you guys said, they take it for granted or whatever. I don't think we necessarily take it for granted. I think it's just our pillar. So like we want that. We want to win the conference. We want to win regular season, and we want to make it to the tournament. So it's really special, especially for Finney, who is a newcomer. For the freshmen who haven't won a conference championship, it's a special thing. No matter how we get there, it's just great.
Yeah, I think to take it for granted is more like everyone else around us.
Yeah.
I think for us, like we talked about it pregame, like, hey, we're coming out here to win it. We're not sharing anything with Hofstra.
Mm-hmm.
They can't, it's ours, and we got to go, take care of business. So I think that's one of the things that our players do. Even talking to our athletic director after the game is like, he's just laughing. He was like, you guys make it look easy, And I think when you have the players like these guys, it's a nice tribute to these guys. What do you think, Finney?
Yeah, I think it's great. Just gives us a lot of momentum going into the postseason. So I think that's more what we're focused